Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Great.
So how has the conference been so far for you? Good? Interesting cases?
Very interesting one.
Okay. So tell us about yours. What are we going to be talking about?
Well, we will be talking about digital telco, how we made change in one specific market in the Middle East. So we will be focusing mainly on the digital onboarding and how we made it happen, basically, for the client. So I was fortunate enough to lead this project as a head of delivery, and our task was basically to introduce digital operator, like digital first operator in the Middle East. And just to give a little bit of context, there were already 2 operators on the market in the Middle East, in that region. And there was a vision to have some sort of, digital first operator, starting from scratch. It was a greenfield project, so all the moving parts, were, set up for the first time. There was nothing, no legacy systems, nothing like that. So it was brand new telco we built together with our client. And obviously, if you are building something new, you don't want to use legacy systems or traditional way of, doing telco, or you want to bring something new to the market. You disrupt, find a blue ocean, etc. So the vision or the mission of the client was very powerful, at least to me, because they really wanted to have this, paperless, experience. They didn't want to accept that you need to do things in a traditional way. So basically, setting up the store, having the retail agents, signing up the clients, doing that conversion, like really customers going to the store and going through the onboarding painful journey, as I had to, a couple of weeks back in one country I don't want to mention. So there was quite a big challenge because they wanted really to be mobile oriented, so everything had to be done through mobile phone. So basically mobile app, from downloading till the end of eSim registration, which is also part of this topic we will be speaking today. We had several challenges, obviously. I mean, if you are building something new, there are a lot of complexities, a lot of moving parts, a lot of dependencies you need to resolve. Also market-specific things like Arabic, it's not Latin. So we were working very hard with the Innovatrics team to make it happen, basically, also for the Middle East market. And obviously, since there are a lot of complex dependencies, and you also want to maintain this omnichannel experience. For instance, you start a journey on the e-kiosk and you jump right back to the mobile app. You don't really want to start over again. You want to have this single source of information in one piece. Just do not interrupt the journey at all. It needs to be customer oriented, really. The UI UX, as probably it's your field, it needs to be top notch. If you are doing something like that. Right. You want the system to remember you. Right? Exactly. Yeah. It's crucial. If you want to really provide that omnichannel experience. What we also did together with Innovatrics, we did something new, I suppose. We integrated, or basically we provided the fully digital onboarding through the e-kiosk. So basically, you can imagine like the big piece of metal you can see on the airport. So sometimes it's used just for topping up your account or doing some basic operations. But we went further. We tried and we succeeded to make the digital onboarding through e-kiosk happen together with toolkit, So that was one of the highlights of the project, I would say. For the client, it was all about converting the potential client into the customer. So basically, a customer can use the services. It's fully provisioned. It's paying customer, etc. So we had to nail down the customer experience, obviously, together with other things, that were happening under the hood. We just wanted to relieve the customer so they don't need to go through the painful journey of onboarding, which will be basically something that we will, or I will tell you right now how we did it. I will skip the usual parts like, logging in using social media, selecting the product like plan, add-ons, etc. Then selecting the MSI at the end, which is the phone number. We will skip that and we will jump right back to the KYC part, the eKYC part, where the real digital first starts, for the telco. So basically, what happens first? I mean, through the app or through the kiosk, obviously, you need to scan the documents, the front and back. So basically, because we don't want customer to manually input the data. We don't want to bother him like, there is 15 fields, hand by hand, manually capture that. It's slowing down the conversion, slowing down the journey, and it's painful.
And introducing human error as well, right?
Exactly. Because mistakes happen. We are only humans, right? I do mistakes all the day.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So basically, yes, we partnered with Innovatrics. We used DOT to basically extract the data. Also the Arabic, since I was speaking about Arabic. Also the Arabic from documents, because the documents in the Middle East are in Arabic. And we extracted the data, and we just offered the screen for the customer to confirm the data, and that's it. So simple as that. So customer needs to only review a few fields and proceed with the journey, with the eKYC process, which is basically the next step is just take a selfie, because we are doing the comparison. I think Daniel summarized it very well, and I truly can relate to one of those challenges, like the completion needs to be 100%, but we want to have it secure enough. So there are so many discussions, so many configurations, workshops being done. So once you basically do the selfie, we verify the picture, we compare the picture through the DOT, and then obviously we go to the liveness check, which is very crucial if you want to do digital onboarding, fully digital onboarding. We did it through the active liveness check, and I can totally relate to the challenges we had with that, with customers understanding the experience, or the dots that they need to follow. I think we sorted it quite well. I mean, and it was very simple instructions, before it happens to the customer, and once we did it. We improved the success rate, or the pictures were way better than it was before. So we were not getting those funny pictures, as Daniel mentioned, in his presentation. So we basically implemented the active liveness check with following the dots, and then obviously as a handbrake, what you want to do, some integration with authorities, maybe with the databases, with blacklists, because you don't want to onboard everybody. Right? Because there needs to be some degree of security. I mean, you cannot onboard 100% of potential customers, because there is a chance that there is somebody, some potential customer you don't want. Exactly. So it's quite a crucial part of the journey, and at least in my opinion, cannot be skipped. And then basically the account is, or customer is, onboarded, or account can be created in the backend system. So basically we are able to create a customer, and the account is opened. So this is the one part of the digital journey of onboarding.
So if you would be talking about banking, and you would say the account is open, that would totally make sense to me. But you're talking about telco.
Exactly.
So what does it mean that my account is open? When can I make the first call, and how do I do that?
That's very important, because when we are speaking about digital onboarding, or truly digital onboarding in telco industry, what we mean is not just opening the account, so you can basically send the money over there, but you need to make sure that the customer can use the services in a minute. I mean, in 5 minutes, that was some sort of a requirement that we had. In 5 minutes, the customer should be able to use the services from downloading the app.
Yeah, so how do you do that?
Well, there are several ways how to do it. But the truly digital way, as I see it, is basically integration with the Google and Apple in regards to the eSIMs. Because there is a way how to do it without that, by sending the QR code to basically through the system settings, uploading the profile or activating the eSIM profile. But it's not. I don't feel that it's like truly digital, because you don't want to. You want to stay in the app. You want to finish the journey in the app. So you need to leverage the latest technology, on the market, which is integration with Apple and Google, and integration with eSIMs. Downloading the eSIM for the customer with single one click from the app. Mm-hmm. So basically, once the customer pays for the services he selected before, he completed KYC, he paid for the services, he goes to the app. I mean, there can be any button or whatever. He taps on the button, and a whole process of updating the systems, integrations with Apple and Google triggers. And in a few seconds, depends how long it will take, the customer has downloaded the eSIM, installed the eSIM in the device, and activated the eSIM in his device without any, without skipping or leaving the app.
So it's like a software SIM card, is what you're saying, or electronic SIM card. I don't need a hardware one.
Exactly.
But it kind of happens on the back end. That's super fascinating.
Yeah, and basically in a minute you can start using your services from comfort of your home. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to travel anywhere, and it's fully digital. Mm-hmm.
So let me challenge you a tiny bit, right? So
All right.
You said e-kiosk, right?
Yes.
Like a kiosk where I have to go. So why wouldn't you do it in the phone? Why can't I just do it in my own living room? Why do I have to go to an e-kiosk? Is that the next step forward, or is there a block that blocks you from putting it directly in the customer's device?
I would say you need to reflect the market, because in the Middle East there is a lot of cash operations, and you cannot provide it through the through the phone. And e-kiosks should be, e-kiosks are basically supplementing the stores. So basically, the stores, they don't have many stores, so they are using the e-kiosk as e-stores, so you can do all the operations over there.
So it accepts cash, is what you're telling me.
It accepts
That's why
cash
you need to
and
go
gives you the SIM card
I see.
in exchange, if you pay.
Right. If you pay. Yeah, that's a good threshold right there. Okay, good.
So what I was basically speaking about is the vision or the mission of the customer. They really wanted to nail it down, to basically don't accept that the only way how to do stuff is the traditional way. So I think this is something that is a future of the telco. I think it should be made as a standard to basically provide a state-of-the-art user experience, to basically build it around the customer, so customer does not need to do a lot of things. So they don't need to go to the stores. They don't need to basically they don't need to sign anything. They do things as a paperless, so to say, and really build it around the customer. Provide eSIMs completed with a eKYC process, and build it and personalize it for the customer itself, like loyalty, personalized offers, etc.
Right. So we're talking about it again. If the core is good, then the spin-offs and uses are limitless. Really.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to start looking at Slido a little bit. How many smartphones support the eSIMs currently in the Middle East and in Europe as well?
There's quite a lot. It started with iPhone X, if I'm not mistaken, or iPhone XS, and the brand new phones, smartphones already support the eSIMs. So it's the market penetration is quite high in this case.
Okay, but there is some hardware threshold that you have.
Of course, the older smartphones don't support eSIM, but the newer ones are. It's being made as a standard.
Do you think that's somewhere where the telco industry is heading, is completely switching into software SIMs and just, forget the old world, and that is the world that we're unlocking right now?
Well, I hope so. I hope the adoption of these eSIMs and being fully digital is a future of telco, and I think it needs to be. It needs to be, because I experienced that myself a couple of weeks back when I had to travel 2 hours to the store and back, standing in the line, waiting just to get the physical eSIM, because they were not offering the eSIM, and I couldn't do it from comfort of my home. I mean, we need to improve the customer experience, and we have a means, we have the technology here. Why don't we do that?
Oh, I'm all for it. So today in the Middle East, in one telco operator, I don't have to go to the store and stand in line to kind of activate my service, but the store can now devote the energy, time, and the personnel to more interesting jobs, maybe to servicing the customers with real issues
exactly.
that are there. It was a fantastic case. Thank you so much. It was
Thank you
great
very
talking
much.
to you. Thanks.